Hi there. Welcome to The Preventable, the podcast giving you a seat at the table with conversations about the intersection of alcohol, drugs, and mental health in everyday lives. Take a seat and join us.
Welcome to The Preventable. Before we get started with our guest today, I want to make sure and give a big shout out and thank you to Hubbard Radio for allowing us to share their studio space to be able to record these conversations that you all get to be a part of as well. So we thank you for joining us at The Preventable. Today, our guest is Ben Holtmeyer. Hi, Ben.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How have you been?
Great, and even better that I get to be here with you. And when you mentioned Hubbard, this is like a second home for me because, gosh, I was here part-time for 4 and then almost another 4 years full-time. So yeah, I don't get to come back very often. So this is a real treat.
This is a real treat. And not only are you coming back home to Hubbard, but you also get to come back home to talk about Prevent+Ed, which is really exciting.
Yep.
So a little bit about Ben. He has been a part of us, a partner with us for... We won't tell people how old we are. So for many years, we'll say that. How about that?
That sounds good.
Let's press rewind and we can go all the way back to the beginning.
Great.
So tell us, when did you first get started with Prevent+Ed? How did you even know? And it probably wasn't even Prevent+Ed at the time. It was NCADA, but we'll just call it Prevent+Ed.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. Gosh, I think that was back in 2011. I think 2010 or 2011, somewhere in there, and. Came in as, a participant. Yeah, a TI participant was how it started.
So for our listeners, Teen Institute is our leadership retreat, leadership camp that we've been hosting for 52 years. So you showed up to TI, right?
Yeah, and I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. And it's funny, back then it was like, this was something that would look great on a college resume and you should go and you could meet some new people. And I thought, okay, it sounds great. And then fell in love with it. It was a summer I never forgot. And then I wanted to be a part of it every summer afterwards that they could have it. And I remember seeing that they had like the interns and I'm like, I want to make sure I do that.
Yeah.
And then it just got better because you guys kept asking me to come back. So I got to keep doing it, which was even better. So yeah, but it's been a minute. I guess, Jenny, 15 years?
Yeah, 15 years. Oh. Time flies. It certainly does. So when you heard about TI or when you first signed up for it, was it through just word of mouth or did we have an educator in your school and they talked about it? Or do you remember how you even first heard about this thing? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a guidance counselor at St. Francis Borgia High School in Washington. I think her name was Carla. She was one of the guidance counselors back then who was a proponent of you all. And I think she kind of mentioned it to some people and a few of us thought it would be a great idea to do.
And it is a great idea to do. We were just talking recently about, how long the camp's been going and that we're already gearing up for 2026. We've moved it to November. I'm sure it was still in June when you were there.
Yeah, it was in December. I always remember that it coincided with the family vacation, and there were times where they would literally pick me up, and then we would continue on driving to Florida or somewhere afterwards. So there were times where I wasn't home for 2 weeks. That's what summer's all about.
And when you're young, that doesn't seem to matter. Now you'd probably be all thrown off of life if you missed 2 weeks or something. Yeah, now it matters. So you kept just hanging on, and we kept hanging on to you because when people are bought in and passionate and care about the things that are happening, it makes all of our jobs easier, truly.
Oh, 100%. I mean, and that's what I always felt, just being a part of everything. And it was a perfect match for me just because I was always so excited to be a part of it and wanted to keep sharing that year after year. Yeah.
And then we grow up, right? And we don't get to just do fun things in the summer and go to camps and go on vacations, but we still stay connected. So your career path, why don't we talk a little bit about that? We mentioned that you've worked at Hubbard. How has your kind of career evolved then after post high school and into college and where we're at today?
Yeah, so I started at Hubbard Broadcasting doing radio promotions. I was on their promotions team. Mm-hmm. That was back in 2012 is when I first started doing that, the summer of 12, right before college. And it was the most perfect college job in the world because it was all fun events. It was on weekends, but none of the events were very long. So I still got to spend time with friends and family, but at the time I wanted to be in broadcasting or something in communications, and so this was the perfect spot because I got to be here all the time. So
and see it happen.
Yeah, most perfect college job I could ever ask for. And then during that same time, I started working for the St. Louis Cardinals too on the side. Throughout this interview, you'll find out that I'm just a crazy work person.
Like to have your hands in lots of things.
Everything. Yep. Started working there as an intern in their publications department and ticket sales. So this is my 11th year there. So I'm still there.
You're still there.
Still there.
Okay.
Yep. Best part-time job ever. And then after Hubbard, I graduated college. They were so gracious to offer me a full-time job here. And I would have been stupid not to take it. My boss was like, "Hey, you should probably consider this." And I'm really glad she did that, just because you're just coming out of college.
Yeah,
you think
really
you know everything, but you
yeah.
really don't. And so I was so glad she swayed me for that. And I think 4 years went by, and then I had a really good opportunity at Merritt's. Then COVID hit, so I didn't get to stay. I got let go because I think Merritt's, they rely so heavily on the travel industry, and as we know, everything
stopped.
They lost like 80% of their revenue, something crazy like that. So I took one day off from that, and then I was job hunting the next day, and then found a job 6 weeks later at good old Vantage Credit Union. They were a wonderful company to work for, and then I learned grass isn't always greener, but I got a really good offer from Equifax, went there, and then I had been trying to get a job at Worldwide Technology for 4 years. They're arguably, in my opinion, the best company to work for in St. Louis. Just from everything I've read and heard, and it's 100% true as well. So finally, a job recruiter reached out to me at just the most perfect time, and I had been bugging these guys for years, and they're like, "Finally, we got something for you."
Okay.
And ended up going there, and I've been there ever since. So that was 2021, so it'll be 5 years for me in October.
Wow. And all of these jobs have had components of communications and marketing and really sticking back to where you started, of what you were thinking, like, I want to do that.
Yeah. And that's what's cool about the Cardinal gig, especially because I wanted to be in broadcasting. So I still get to scratch that itch a little bit by doing some commercial voiceovers, video editing, really everything they have me do, as long as I get my foot in the door still and can get a key to the stadium. I don't really care what they tell me what to do.
Yeah, because that's pretty cool to say I work for the Cardinals.
If they want me to just take out trash in the office, I'll keep coming. So that's fine. But like you said, everything's been more on the digital marketing side of things is my profession. So, yeah.
Well, and we at Prevent+Ed have also been able to benefit from that. And so even though, it might have hit a point in time when being an intern or even, junior staff at camp might not have been appropriate, we were still able to stay connected. And nonprofits definitely survive with the support of boards and committees to help guide work and give feedback. And you've continued to stay involved on on our marketing communications committee. You had some time on the board of directors, served some terms there, I guess is what we call it. But then really, your life has continued to grow, your personal life and your family.
Gosh,
and so you reached out and you're like, how do I have time for everything? But you didn't just cut it off. You didn't say, but I'm done. You said, maybe I'll just continue on the committee, which is totally fair and has been really supportive.
Yeah,
too.
you guys were so gracious about that, because it's like I still want to be involved. Just like, the Cardinals, where you guys just can't get rid of me. It's like I still want to find a way to stay if I can.
Yeah.
So that much appreciated for that. But yeah, I had a baby girl in August, so she's 8 months now. So yeah, thank you. So that was the personal life thing that came into play there. So that made everybody and everything just go like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Yeah, because I have this whole other human to focus on too.
So a little bit of a life culture shock in a great way for sure. But I can say life comes at you quick with all kinds of different things, but I'm really happy I still get to stick around for some things.
Well, so are we. We're very happy. And you still live in Franklin County, is that right? So
yep,
Franklin
in Washington.
County so Washington. So I know you still keep up on the work that Prevent+Ed is doing in the community out there through prevention and our recovery support work and all of those connections.
I try to keep tabs as best I can as far as the news and anything else that I hear. I still try to keep tabs on if, whatever you guys are doing out in our county, whether it's hopefully getting all the funding and everything that you need and things like that, but trying to pay as much attention as I can.
Yeah, well, and I think that's important. And, I think that's really powerful. And I have a lot of conversations with people all the time, not just as a podcast host, but, part of my job is just meeting with people and talking about the agency. And often, I'm on a daily basis almost, people are often asking, well, what can I do to help? How can we support? Or, and yes, donations and monetary things are always great. Yeah. But then really it is about staying connected and staying aware. And that's what I tell people all the time is, really the goal, my goal is to make sure that we have people that are knowledgeable about who we are and what we're doing, people that are able to have a conversation with a friend or a neighbor or somebody else if they see us in the paper or if they have someone who has questions about substances, because we can't be everywhere all the time. And so the more information that we can share with people, the more people can be part of us, even if they're not in the day-to-day grind of it, is really important.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you hit the nail on the head as far as you can't be everywhere. You can't do everything at all times. So, but yeah, just trying to be aware and be a part of things, like you mentioned, is sometimes the best thing you can do.
It is the best. And that's on an individual level. And back to, being on committees and the marketing and communication and helping us think about different ways that we're going to share our messages and our information. We have a great team, but sometimes it's good to have those other perspectives.
Yeah, I definitely try to be a part of it as much as I can, especially if there's something website related or digital marketing related. I know the team at Hubbard does a great job for you all as well, but like you said, it's always nice to have another brain in the room thinking about things for you guys. But yeah, I definitely try to be a part of that as much as I can, just in case, there is something that I can help with. Yeah. I want to make sure I can.
Well, we thank you. It is such appreciated. And some of that appreciation we're sharing with you at our annual awards luncheon. So our Prevent+Ed, we've been doing a awards luncheon for decades now, and it is held in April, and this year it's on April 24th, when it's really an opportunity where we can share with the community, share with other people, people that work in the substance use field, people that are just connected to us in a lot of different ways, or people that are not connected and looking to learn more. And at our awards luncheon, we have several categories of awards of people who have made a difference for us, with us, and in the community with substance use. And this year, you are the award recipient for our Howard Potratz Alumni Award. So that was a very fun phone call I got to make to say, hey, Ben, what are you doing on April 24th?
That's awesome. Yep. I was so appreciative of that. And thank you so much for it.
Of course.
Yeah, I was really humbled and honored. I didn't even know that was a thing. So, I mean, I was, you caught me off guard. So I was really happy about that. And I can't wait. I've marked it down immediately. Yes. And I didn't even think it. It's one of those things where I think this is like the second award I've received that's something like this. Where I had one from Borgia where it was an award for unselfish dedication to the school, and I kind of drew some parallels with that because I never even thought about it. It was something that I just wanted to always keep finding a way to help you guys and be a part of things. And I really appreciate that you guys honored me in this way. So it's really wonderful.
Absolutely. And that Alumni Leadership Award, it really is about that continued connection. And it is, when it's awarded annually, it's awarded to somebody who has been a part of some of our programs, and that, can look all different ways depending on what program it is, and has continued to stay involved and continued to support our work both internally, but then, that ambassador in the community. And making those phone calls is really fun. And it's so nice. And this is why we keep doing the spring awards luncheon. Some people have suggested that, or maybe we should move to like a gala or some kind of other event. But the heart of the Spring Awards Luncheon is that feeling of just being able to honor people that totally deserve it. And I would say 100% of the calls I've made the last few years of people are always unexpected, and always people who are just like, wow, really, me? And I'm like, yes, you. And it's just a fun day because it's a celebration. And I think that's important that we continue to celebrate people in community, continue to have ways we can hold each other up, because we know life can get rough sometimes too. And it's not always great things happening, but we have to honor those times when it is.
I already loved you all, but now you've got me hooked in for like a real long time now. Not that I was ever thinking about leaving, but I'm like, well, now I'm definitely here to stay.
Now you really can't quit us, right? So, what else was I going to ask you? Sorry, I had another question in mind, and I think it's escaped me. Oh, I was going to press rewind again
cool.
and think back to some of those TI experiences. And so, we know you liked it because you kept wanting to come back. Uh-huh. But when you reflect back on that and you're thinking about it, are there things and they don't have to be really specific, but even ways that you think that really help kind of shape what you were doing and who you were as you grew up?
Yeah, great question. And you still have a lot of great people, but there were so many great people back then. And it was just, I don't know, it was like, it's hard to describe as far as like they were educators, but just really like, as in some were actual educators, but then some that they were kind of acting in that sense for TI. But there was just such a wonderful group of people that kids like me could lean on, or they were kind of cheerleaders, or they would see something, even though it was just for a week. You guys had a real knack of kind of like picking out kids and finding a way to help them or break them out of their shell a little bit. And I thought that was a huge thing, because especially in high school, you're so used to, especially me coming from a smaller town, you're so used to your bubble, your area. Yeah. So to get exposed to so much diversity and just different everything from my perspective, I didn't really interact with kids or high schoolers from the city or South St. Louis or anywhere really besides just the Washington Franklin County area.
Just your bubble. Yeah.
And that was, and my next big step was to go to college and get out a little bit. So this was a great intro to that, to just be exposed and meet and talk with different people and figure out the right way to go about it too. I that was what I got the biggest part out of it. The other thing too is, of course, the mission of Prevent+Ed too, which is just your life doesn't have to and shouldn't revolve around drugs and alcohol and anything like that. Absolutely. And Prevent+Ed did a really nice job of finding ways and getting people together to where you don't even think about that. That's not the focus. It's people. It's having fun in more organic, kind of more genuine ways. Yeah. That's what I really always took out of it, and what I always shared and that's why I wanted to keep coming back.
Yeah, well, thank you. And you said earlier that you had been trying for a long time to work at Worldwide Technologies because it's a great company to work at, and you found it's the best. I would argue a little bit that Prevent+Ed is also a really great place to work. I mean, we were the top workplace for medium-sized organizations in 2025. So we're on the same list.
So you made it. Yeah, you're right there with us.
But it is the people that work at Prevent+Ed care about what they do and love to see young people.
Many of them are still there.
Many of them are still there.
I was looking at your roster today before I came, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's still there. Like Jenny Mullen's still there. So
Jenny Mullen is still there. Many of them are still there. Many of them, even if they've moved on or retired or moved to different states, I still talk to them on a regular basis. I mean, it is you grow this team, and it takes a lot of different members of a team to make it strong. But when it's strong, you hold on to that.
There was another person I thought of today too, Marilyn.
Marilyn.
She was wonderful. Obviously, Nicole Dossie, but I was like, Marilyn stuck out to me too, as she was just like the mom. It felt like of the retreat every time. So her name stuck out as well.
Yeah, it's stuck. I talk to her on a regular basis.
Oh, that's great.
So it's so wonderful to still have all those dots connected. I think that can be a lot of fun. So looking forward to the luncheon in April, getting to honor you some more, have our other attendees that'll be there. If anyone would like to know more about Teen Institute coming up in 2026 in November, so we've switched it to the fall now, or the awards luncheon coming up in just a few days, please visit our website at PreventEd.org. Thank you so much, Ben, for coming and walking down memory lane with me. This has been a lot of fun. We hope that you all enjoyed The Preventable. If you've liked what you've heard and you want to hear more, be sure to subscribe at anywhere you get your podcast. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us at The Preventable, brought to you ad-free by Prevent+Ed. Prevent+Ed works to reduce or prevent the harms of alcohol and other drug use through education, intervention, and advocacy. Please visit their website at PreventEd.org. Like what you heard? Rate, review, and subscribe to stay up to date with what we are serving on The Preventable.